Isn't the older son right in the parable of the prodigal son? You probably remember this story from Luke chapter 15, where the younger son comes to the father, asks for his part of the inheritance, and goes to a far-off land, squanders that money. The text tells us that he lives recklessly. Eventually, he comes to his senses, and he comes back home, comes back to the father, and the father has compassion on him. His father puts a robe around him, he puts a ring on his finger, and he throws a banquet for the prodigal son, because what was lost has now been found. And this particular story is a beautiful example of what Luke is doing in his gospel. One of the key themes comes from when Jesus says that he has come to seek and save that which is lost. And the story of the prodigal son is a highlight of that. It's very memorable, and it's a beautiful picture of what Jesus has come to do. But it's not the end of the story. And the next part is perhaps the most important part of this particular parable, because Jesus is talking to Pharisees, he's talking to the scribes, he's talking to the religious leaders who probably understand where the older son is coming from. And the older son comes to his dad and he says, "Wait a minute, Dad, I've been here the whole time. I didn't ask for my part of the inheritance. I didn't travel to a far-off land. I didn't live recklessly. I didn't spend all your money. I didn't embarrass you. Why are we throwing a party for him when I've been faithful to you?" And if we ask this question, as I certainly have with the older son, this parable is meant for us. And, the father responds to the older son and says, "Everything that I have is always yours, but it's time to celebrate. It's time to rejoice that which was lost has now been found." And that's the end of the story. The older son doesn't respond, and it gives us a chance to reflect. How do we feel about serving such a generous God? Are we threatened when sinners are accepted in our community? How do we feel about Jesus seeking the lost and bringing them back into the family? These are a few things that we can reflect on as we think about the story of the prodigal son.